for watching Afternoon Live. Our next guest was a typical high school student when a near-fatal car accident put him in the hospital with just a 5% chance of survival. He joins us today to share his remarkable story of recovery. We welcome the author of Finding Faith in the Field, Ben Hylden. Thanks for joining us, Ben.
Absolutely, yeah. No, and thanks for having me.
So take me back to 2007, that day that changed your life. Were you about, 17 years old?
Yeah, well, I was 16 years old, and it was just a normal day. It was actually Good Friday, and I tried on my suit coat that morning for the prom the next weekend, and then after that, I went into back therapy, and I'd been down this road many, many times. It's an old back road by our farm, and had never lost control until that day. I lost control, and I went down the ditch, hit an approach, and then flipped my car into a field numerous times. I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, so then I was ejected out the passenger door, going face first in the field, and that was kind of when everything in my life changed. I mean, I went down this path that I'm on right now. I mean, I was your typical high school kid, into sports, into really anything that high schoolers love, and my whole goal dream in life was to play college basketball. I mean, my identity back then was an athlete, and then when I crashed, it was like I knew that everything was now different. Everything changed all in a few seconds.
Yeah, a lot of kids can relate to that, their athletics or their hobby being kind of their identity as a teenager. Take me back to the crash, because your parents actually ended up finding you. How did that come about? And you weren't even aware that was your folks at the time.
No, I mean, when I was laying there, I was expecting to die because I knew where I was at. I knew what field I was in. I knew what road I was on. I know that no one drives down this road, and plus it's Good Friday, so no one's gonna be driving around really, and there's no school. And so I laid there, and it was getting harder and harder to breathe. It was like, I mean, I was suffocating. And so then I heard these two voices, and I didn't know it was my parents then, because my eyes were swelled shut, so I couldn't see, and I could faintly hear because there was dirt shoved into my ears, from the accident. And so I had no idea it was them, but they were holding me. They were trying to keep me still, and I mean, it was pure agony, the pain I had from all the injuries of my internal organs, and my face completely was shattered. Like my nose broken into nine pieces, my palate broke in half. So it was insane, in my own mind, and then later on, when I came out of my coma and I survived through all the surgeries and everything, and I found out it was my parents that found me. It was just like, what in the world? I mean, how? Because my parents never go down that road, like ever. I mean, and they still don't. It's a road that I took because it's the fastest way into town. And when I'm late, I'd always take that road. And that day was no different. I was late. And my parents that day, they had a meeting rescheduled three times to that day at that very time, and they took that road, which they never do until that day. It still boggles my mind that they found me.
It's incredible. I mean, beginning to end of just that part alone, and you go on, it changes the trajectory of your life. You write this book, you speak to people across the country. I want to make sure that we let our viewers know we're going to link to our website with more information so they can find out more about the rest of your story. But we're so happy to see you here healthy and chatting with us today. Thank you so much, Ben.
Absolutely, yeah. And
Again,
thanks for having me.
we'll have more on our website on katu.com about finding faith in the field. And we'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.